I'm cheating?
I'm not cheating.
I'm not.
I'm
Kelsey,
Vince.
Kelsey, I love you.
It twirls my mustache.
Kelsey, I love you to know what they're talking about. It's the thing that I played. I wanted to get on the show for 10 years and I couldn't get the freaking stupid puzzle.
And you guys,
Freaking Ashley beat me. Dumb Ashley beat me.
and Ava sleeps for 16 hours a day.
And she's not a great Source player. I give it to Will. Will maybe, but Ava. Jesus, Morgan, how am I gonna win this game? Oh, help me, Morgan, help me.
I'm gonna go into hiding for 6 months after the show.
And then I'm gonna do a unpacking what happened on BB27 with my girlfriend next to me in the cup chair, please. Welcome everybody to another episode of Reality Rangers. We are your Reality Rangers, here to give you a lay of the reality TV land. I'm Malik Fortier and I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Andrew Hill. Today we're talking about week 2 and half of week 3 for Big Brother 28. And what a
doozy.
Even after the first episode we recorded, literally 4 minutes after we recorded it, that's when the Angela egg costume happened, which we had a whole rant about the powers.
And we predicted this.
And then, yeah, we predicted it. And then 4 hours later, the veto, or the HOH noms happened, and shit went down.
That was like one of the biggest fights we had seen in recent BB history. And of course, Angela was part of it. Jason was part of it. Jason was like getting all up in, Angela's egg grill, and Angela was coming back at him. And then Devins was trying to like diffuse everything. And then Haley and Rome got part of it, and everyone was getting their licks in. And it was just crazy. There was crazy fallout. Like, it was just like chaos personified.
Yeah, it started like Jason was frying Angela. Angela was scrambling. Like, there was so much happening in this. And this wasn't even the biggest thing that happened
since we last had our episode.
Literally last night, probably the biggest like event of the season so far, and maybe the biggest of the past like decent few seasons. And that's going to be like one of the last things we talk about. So stay tuned.
We're going to get there. It's going to be juicy.
Get there, but there's a whole week and a half to get through, and it's a doozy.
Yeah, so where did we leave off at last episode? We left off right before the HOH ceremony, and we did predict the noms. Like, It was the classic put up all the allies of Rome challenge. It was Lyric, Jason, and Melody on the block, and it looked like a Rome backdoor was happening. Devins put his whole game out there, and he was like, you know what? Rome gave me names to protect, and then he boiled that list down. Lala, you weren't part of it, so I'm gonna protect you, but these people were, and I'm gonna take the shot at him, and he's gonna go in the back door. And it was, I don't think he said backdoor explicitly, but like, if you were smart enough, you could predict that was gonna happen.
The debate I've been seeing is it considered a backdoor if you have the blockbuster now? But I think you have to evolve the terminology as the game evolves, and I think it is a backdoor. Especially as we'll like talk about how it plays out. It definitely was like, well, they knew what was happening, so I don't think I would consider it a backdoor. But we should start at the beginning of the week, though. Actually, no. First, I want to mention last week we talked about Ashley and how she kind of like sold her own game, and I think the two of us were a little like we didn't fully understand like how it went down. But I think I have a better read on it now, and I just want to go through it, especially because Ashley deserves better.
Yeah.
Rest in
Rest
power.
in peace. Yeah.
So the whole thing was just Ashley. She was nominated because the other 3 groups had one person nominated already. She was one of the people that wasn't in there, and Barrett obviously couldn't be nominated if he was aligned with
the crossovers, right?
So Ashley goes up. She was mostly just going to be a pawn, but the main reason that everything went down the way it did is because she thought that because she had the numbers from I guess what is now the tool shed of Kamu, Haley, Chuck, Dee, Devins, Angela, Drew, and Barrett. She thought, I have the numbers. I'm just going to tell everyone I have the numbers to stay, so if you don't vote with me...
You're voting against the house.
Yeah. And I think, sure, fine, whatever. But the way she did it, she basically revealed every person that was in the other side of the house, which was supposed to be like a secret thing that they were trying to like sneak around for. Afterwards, they kind of like just let it out in the open, especially after the fight that we just mentioned. But in this case, like at the time, they were trying to keep it under wraps. So revealing to the other side of the house who they were against made her both a target for that side of the house who didn't want to get rid of Yash as a number or Taylor, but also the side of the house that was trying to keep her now saw she was a liability because she was revealing information that they didn't want her to.
And especially, I feel like the people who really didn't like that and didn't appreciate that were Drew and Barrett, who were trying to play that middle and didn't want their spots to be blown up. So they just like were like, let's cut our losses, let's get rid of Ashley, which I feel bad because she was kind of doing what the Toolshed was asking her to do in like trying to, you know, campaign and reassure everyone that she had the votes. She just went in a way that blew up the alliance, and I guess they just couldn't have that, and they sent her home.
They needed a vague post queen, and instead they got
a spam poster on
spam
Twitter.
Poster.
Yeah.
And you know what? She started spam posting on Twitter now, and it's awesome.
It's the best part of the season right now. Yeah.
So yeah, now let's actually get into the previous week. So as we talked about, Devins won the HOH. He tried to throw it to Haley. Unsuccessfully, which he was obviously he's fine with. He's Devins.
Yeah.
But of course he wanted to keep it like I guess low key initially, but then decided like after talking with everyone like fuck it, let's have a sleepover. Let's bring everyone into the HOH room and establish the
one at a
Toolshed.
time. People start coming from, you know, the normal bedroom, the have not, you know, the kitchen, the this, and everyone who's not invited starts to notice. You've got Jason, Lyric, and Rome in the kitchen up at 3 a.m., not getting a midnight snack, but trying to get a midnight scoop on what's happening in the HOH room because there's a kiki going up upstairs, and they're not invited.
Yeah, they literally get everyone. Then Jason, Rome, and Lyric see, so they go into the kitchen, and then they come back down, grab Barrett, who is like fast asleep, and
like only half awake when he's up there.
He looked dumb as hell in his beanie. Like they go down, bring him back up, and then at that point, Rome decides he's gonna go back upstairs, ring the doorbell, and see what happens. No one answers because they're like,
Bom, bom, bom. He was trying to be on his like mission trip Mormon or like Jehovah's Witness type beat, and they were not giving him anything. Like it was just really, I felt bad for him, but they were just like hunkered down
hiding
in the
in the
HOH
bathroom.
room. Yeah, and they just were like, okay, let's like solidify this alliance, and that's when the Toolshed happened.
Yeah.
That's when it got formed.
We were wondering last week why it was called the Toolshed, and now we know Drew wanted to call it that because they're all tools.
Yeah, Drew he's kind of self-centered. He wants everything to be about him, kind of.
I think he truly is just like, we were talking beforehand how we can't tell where the line of a bit is with Drew and where he's like actually kind of being problematic. But I think at this point, everything is a bit to him. Everything is a game to him. All he does is play.
Drewly.
Yeah.
Drewly,
That's the Drew.
That's the real Druth. So yeah, obviously Rome, Jason, Lyric, they don't take this lightly. They're like, okay, shit, we're on the bottom. Like, we know this. And so they're trying to, you know, make amends and whatever. They try to start talking. Lyric has a plan to, like, distance herself from Rome and say, hey, maybe we should put the relationship showmance on pause and make it look like we're not together anymore. Which, I don't know if everyone was buying.
No one was buying it.
Maybe Yash and Chuck. Maybe.
They're a little, simpler in their mindset.
They're simpler, maybe not thinking with their brain, maybe thinking with something else, but that didn't really change anything. Devins had a plan. Angela really was one of the biggest like pushers of this HOH. Like, never did I think I'd hear the words come out of my mouth, Angela controlled somebody else's HOH, but she kind of controlled it here.
She really did, because initially Devins was good with Rome. Like, he wanted to keep that relationship and try and you know, save it for later, because Rome is the kind of person who's gonna win an HOH in the future. Like, that just makes sense. He wants to keep that allyship. And so he talks to Rome. He's like, who do you want me to keep safe? Like, if you can boil down the list. And it comes down, Rome says himself, obviously, and then Jason and Lyric, who, like, we know that basically a throuple at this point. Like,
yeah, we saw the Challengers kiss moment, and it was definitely giving throuple. But who does he boil out of the list? Lala
and
Taylor. And so Devins takes this and he runs with it. He was like, I was never gonna listen to him anyway. I'm gonna keep my word of not putting him on the block, but I'm gonna put up his closest allies, and I'm gonna use his words against him and tell the people that he quote unquote boiled out, which I love that terminology.
Yeah. Especially with the egg costume. We keep scrambled, fried, boiled. We'll get through all of them by the end of the episode.
It'll be over easy.
Yeah.
But he plans this, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna use this against him. So whatever allies he did have left that weren't in his main group, they're gonna be gone, right? So this was the setup to one of the most electric, explosive HOH nomination ceremonies. And it was great. Like, we talked about it a little bit, but we can just get into it. Like, the three go up: Melody, Lyric, and Jason. And Devin's like laying it all out there. He's like, Rome, you're one of the best players right now. I had to put up your allies, the ones that you really were close to. And Lala, rethink your relationship with him in the game, because he boiled you out of the list. And Lala starts crying.
Yeah, it's really heated at that moment, and it gets more heated as Angela starts talking, because as Angela does, she picks a fight. Her and Jason really go at it. And I think one thing I do want to note, because we kind of said it, but Devins did kind of want to keep that allyship with Rome a bit. Like,
yeah,
there was some relation there where he didn't, like, he kind of did want to stick with the idea of, like, keeping those people off the block, maybe. But what really convinced him was Angela, like you said. She really wanted to, like, establish that we need to set a line in the house and target Rome.
That's the group.
Yeah.
That's the group.
Go in the kitchen, look outside, look at the hammock. That's the group.
Where they haven't even formed anything.
No, it was just like, okay, let's have a little meeting. And she saw people getting pulled into rooms, and she wasn't pulled into a room. She, like, immediately goes into Terminator mode.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it was over.
And, like, that was really good, like, movement. She was really schmoving there.
Yeah.
But, like, then it all just, it all cracks apart with, her just fighting Jason. Everyone goes back to seeing her as kind of a bit of a jester.
Yeah, after she tried to poach that group, there was, like, no coming back. The line was drawn in the sand for them.
Though,
and
it was mostly warranted for the time. Like, Jason did fully manipulate her. I think the way she went about it was insane, because she started it by saying he's using his sexuality.
Which, like, sounds crazy in context. It sounds like he's, like, seducing her somehow, which did not happen.
That's what he took from it.
Right? Yeah, like, because she worded it horribly. What she meant was, like we said, he was using the whole, like, gay, maybe not accepted by his family, mother relationship, and playing on her relationship with her son, coming out later. So, like, I get where she came from and how that was, like, a weak spot for her, but she worded it horribly. Like, she made it sound like they had some secret DL affair.
Yeah. This fight, it plays out. We finally get settled down a little bit, and Rome starts talking. I think the funniest bit about this whole fight to me, though, was when Jason tries to say, like, like, I had you convinced, at least for a second, Devins, like, isn't that true? And then he looks back at the noms and is like, no.
No, like, he just straight faced.
That one clip from, like, the mockumentary where they're like, do you know what happened to your daughter? No.
Like he just, with the most straight face, because he really didn't fall for it. He didn't fall for it. And Jason, like, this kind of bleeds into what I was saying last week. Like, he's not giving the master manipulator that he thought he gave. I do think I was a little hard on him last week, and we'll get into that after we talk about the tea part. A little hard on him, like, in the way I was going for him.
You come from Drag Race, a culture of throwing shade, and you're on a competitive zero-sum game where somebody has to win and everybody else has to lose. And you could have had it all, Jason. We were rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. Never in my life have I yelled at a BB contestant like this. Change yourself.
What I say I stand by, but I was maybe I was the one friend that was doing a little too much.
I think it was warranted
commentary and feedback
for the specific instance.
Yes, of him, trying to manipulate quote unquote
Yeah.
Angela. But no, I you almost start to feel bad for Jason. He's got his whole game blown up after this egg meeting. And the aftermath is even more fiery than the actual nomination ceremony itself. You've got Rome calling Haley a snarky beep. I mean, we've sworn on this pod before, but yeah, he calls her a snarky B word. And she does not have this, and Barrett doesn't have this, apparently.
Yeah.
He gets up and he's like, Rome, don't say that. Don't you dare say that. I'm like, okay, Barrett, like, that of all things is what's getting you to, like, get up and be angry. Like, okay, that's kind of performative, but...
It was weird, and, like, I think it's very funny that the only person he was standing up to defend when everyone was kind of, like, throwing that at each other was Haley.
Mind you, she is not dancing in front of pride flags like you are, buddy.
Yeah.
Like, let's not...
She registered as a Republican after January 6th.
So let's not defend her. Like, let's maybe sit down, be humble, be quiet, be classy, and
listen to Kendrick. We need his wisdom in this moment.
Exactly.
Sit down, be humble.
Exactly. And so the meeting ends, and everything's in shambles. And now the smaller alliance is like, we got a gun for that veto. We got to win that veto. Best case scenario, obviously, is Rome wins and pulls someone off. But Rome, unfortunately, does not get picked for the veto.
No.
And it's left up to the nominees. And who else is in it? Is it
it's
Barrett?
It's Devins as HOH, then Lyric, Melody, and Jason who were nominated, and then Angela and Barrett.
Yeah, so this is Barrett's second POV in a row. He's finally getting to catch up on those comps. And, this veto comp is Ava's dream. Ava was supposed to be on this season. This is the hippie revolution, the love revolution of Big Brother. And can I just say something that doesn't really have to do anything with the game? Lala was such a good veto host.
Yes.
She was one of the best veto hosts I've ever heard or seen.
She was fantastic. There was one thing that made me laugh really hard, though, is she kept calling Devins Devin. And I just wonder if she knows that's not his name. Which is really funny, but other than that, it was like, she's a great host.
I loved her.
She's really like the Will of this season, where last season he didn't do very much, but he was such a good social player.
Great energy.
He was just so much fun.
Loved by all.
Yeah, and I'm okay if either of them go, but there will be like an energy sucked out of me.
Yeah, a whole vacancy there. But yeah, the veto was like this puzzle thing. It was just like gather pieces, the puzzles on a wall. And Jason's doing pretty well, so is Devins. And just as Jason is about to lock in his answer, he hesitates. And he's like, let me go look at this. And then in that time, Devins finishes his puzzle. And right before Jason can buzz in, Devin buzzes in with the correct answer and wins the POV. He's got all the control, all the power this week. And it's just, it's a tough time for this alliance, especially the nominees. It seems like the noms are going to get kept the same or potentially a Rome backdoor. We can't call it the backdoor because of the blockbuster, but still, he's going to get put up on the block. And so now comes the negotiation time. What is the vibe from the nominees?
Yeah, this is really interesting. I do want to say quickly, I don't really know why Jason hesitated, though, because, like, the way the puzzle was set up, you can't really... Like, obviously you can get it wrong, but it's, like, really, like, I feel like you would know if it's
They
wrong.
wouldn't fit if it was wrong.
Yeah, because there's only one way that they all fit together, and you would, like, have to really push it, which I think Angela buzzed in and got it wrong, because she, like, whatever. But, if you think it's done, just press the button. It was really unfortunate that it didn't play out that way, but, yeah, as the veto plays, results play out, it seems as though Devins has a pretty decent rapport with Melody.
Yeah.
So that seems like would be the most likely option is Melody gets taken off and then we put up Rome. Because it seems pretty damn set in stone that Rome is going up.
Right, because Melody seems like she's less connected to Rome in the sense that, you have your Jason and Lyric who are kind of that, like, conjoin at the hip with Rome. And Melody's kind of, more in the middle, maybe more of a free agent. And Drew would definitely love Melody to come off the block because they've got, like, a fake little showmance going on. We know about this. We're seeing the segments, even though recently they said they're maybe good on that, not trying to get in a showmance with each other. But there's definitely a flirtmance going on.
Yeah.
And so he's definitely pitching, but not too hard because, he's got to maintain his middle status for Melody to come off. Rome obviously would like for Lyric to come off. Lyric is, definitely pushing that strategy of separating herself from Rome. And Jason, I think Jason, it's pretty clear that he's going to be staying on the block. Nobody's taking him off. So really, it's up to the two girls, Lyric and Melody.
Yeah, and I think what really changes things is the fact that like, obviously Rome wants Lyric taken off, and Lyric's trying to separate herself from Rome. I don't think anyone was really buying that, but Lyric doesn't really push at that angle necessarily, and she does a really good job of selling herself to Devons. So she like talks to him. She's saying, "I will never put you up if I'm HOH." Like she's really like putting all her cards out on the table. Like I'm okay. She's like, Rome can be put up. It's fine. I am here to like move on.
She was using that passion that Katy Perry taught her on American Idol. She was like, okay, let me use that. Let me learn from that moment. And she pushed and she dug through. And I think that coupled with D.
D, yeah, that's what I was going to bring up next. Like you were going to say,
yeah, D really was a proponent of anti-Melody.
D was big on keeping Melody on the block because she saw Melody as a much bigger strategic threat, which I'm still conflicted right now. I think, like we just talked about, Lyric did some really like strong arguments. So I think either's a good choice, but D saw Melody as a bigger threat. And she wanted Lyric to be taken off because if Rome does win the blockbuster, then Lyric still has that huge target from the showmance.
I think part of why D also wanted Melody on the block and why she maybe wanted her to go home was that connection to Drew. I think they talked about it a little bit.
Yes.
And I think Devons also touched on that. He was like, Drew may be loyal to me, but I don't think he finds me cute. So he may not want to keep me long-term in the game like he finds Melody. So I think D was also kind of thinking like, Drew's close and we need Drew as a number. So we don't want to lose him to the other side. I think Melody is somebody that could cause that to happen. So, maybe we need to get rid of her now. So that was good thinking maybe on her part. Maybe it was a little too paranoid. I don't know. I do think Melody's a good player from what we've seen. She's just not in the best position right now, but I think she could make some magic happen.
I agree. She feels very similar to like, I think my best correlation would either be like America or like
Leah.
Leah was, I think, the best one where like they have like the potential to be on that level. They just need to get into a position of power to like do something. But yeah, I think especially the Drew connection, they're really trying to like sever that that connection that he has to the other side of the house because he is very insulated on both sides. And they like kind of like occasionally float the idea of like, what if we did flip on Drew? But that bad idea, that would just give them like the other side of the house, more
numbers.
Yeah. You would be basically forcing them to create a counter alliance that is actually strong.
And you'd probably lose Barrett.
Yeah, you'd lose Barrett 100%. And, I think you just need to play more carefully with a player like Drew.
Yeah, because he's going to be like, I want to feel comfortable where I'm at right now. If you make me feel even one bit uncomfortable, I will flip. But maybe I'm overestimating him. It definitely feels like Angela thinks that way. Angela's like very much like, oh, Drew can't be trusted. Yeah. And she's kind of spreading that ideology to D. And she's like, we got to watch out. Like maybe if we get power next week, we ought to put him up. And I'm like, that's just too far. Brash, too quick.
You're in week 2 right now.
Yeah, let's slow our roll, Angela. Like this is the Angela we saw in BB28. Like I thought we learned a little bit. I guess we didn't. So yeah, the veto ceremony rolls around, and if you didn't already know, Melody is still on the block, Jason's still on the block, Lyric gets taken off by Devons, and lo and behold, little old Rome goes up, and yeah, it seems like he is definitely the target.
It's interesting. I think the way that I saw it going into the live eviction was if Jason won the blockbuster, then Rome goes. If Melody wins the blockbuster, then Rome goes. But I could have seen a world where Jason could go, just because of the fact that like they could have the numbers from Drew who would want to keep Melody.
Yeah.
And then they would have the majority of 8 people.
And then if Rome won the blockbuster...
Honestly, I don't know. I don't think they even really... Like, I think they considered it quite a bit because Rome was very likely to win. But at the same time, there was, like, no consensus.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of different people, even who were on the same side, who had conflicting opinions. So That would have been interesting to see, but unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on who you talk to, Jason wins. I was actually kind of happy. After shit talking him last episode, I was happy to see him win because I was like I said, I was not like, I'm not a Jason anti. I was like, I'm disappointed with how he's playing. Like, I was like expecting more from him. And him winning the blockbuster was like, okay, now you're eating. Like, now you're getting into the speed I want you to be in. And Rome goes near unanimously, which, like, I don't want a season of unanimous votes. Can we not do this, please?
Yeah, this was like last episode. I think it made much more sense that it was 14-0.
Yeah.
This time it was 12-1. It was kind of weird that Taylor was the only one that didn't vote because it didn't seem like she was doing it as like a strategic, like pin it on someone else kind of thing.
No, she was just like it's a loyalty thing.
Yeah, and I think it was interesting though. A lot of people, I would have assumed like, obviously they want to separate themselves from the people getting evicted so they can stay, like they can get their way into the circle, but they're already on the outs. Like, it's very apparent where the sides are.
Yeah.
And at the same time, like, what I really don't get voting with the majority in this case, because it's not like you're trying to win over a favor that, like, you've already lost it, especially like Lyric, Melody. I understand, like, Mallory, Barrett, Drew. Jason was, like, a big one that I don't... like, it should have been at least, like, 8-4.
Like, at least, like, sometimes I do get, like, a respect vote or, like, a pity vote. Sometimes I'm like, you know, especially maybe if there's a battle back. Like, okay, you want to make sure that you're seen as loyal to that person. I think usually the people getting evicted understand. Like, Rome, in this case, understood why Lyric and Jason had to vote him out. But, like... at this point, it's not getting in good graces. It's let's win power. Let's win HOH. Like, you can't get in good graces with people like Kamu, which we'll get onto. Like, you know, these people are stuck in their ways and they want to ride out and steamroll. So at this point, go against them and at least be honest. Don't look like you're flip-floppy. That might serve you better for the rest of the game. To say, hey, I'm loyal to the people I'm loyal to. That's my pitch to the middle people. Come work with me and I'll stick by you.
Absolutely. Like, in this case, you've already drawn the line in the sand. You want to be seen as, like, loyal, because if you're loyal but you don't have anyone to be loyal to, that is the easiest person to be, like, you are opening yourself up to be someone to be picked up. Like, I think this was something we talked about with Devon's last season, where he was seen as, like, a disloyal villain and, like, everyone, like, you know, but he was so loyal to the people that he trusted. He was very, like, heroic. He was just chaotic and people couldn't, like... separate the two. But if you can convince people that the two are separate, then you're like a number for them to grab, which you can grow into a power structure, rather than trying to appease the current power that is already going against you.
Yeah, so I think, you know, it could have been better, could have been a more riveting eviction vote. You know, you never love seeing a near unanimous vote, but hey, we got to roll with the punches, and we move on to the HOH. This was foreshadowed on the Friday episode, the Unlocked episode, but we've got a cameo from Jesse Spectacular.
Yeah.
And it's a wrestling HOH comp. I wonder who's going to win that one. I mean, it didn't have to do with doing
it was
wrestling.
A mental comp. It was Josh's worst nightmare.
A booth comp. Oh, boo. It has boo in the word. So it's kind of scary for him. But no, it's a booth comp. It's like memorization based off of like a live. I did kind of find the wrestling fun. But yeah, it was a booth comp. Did this happen? True, false? And, you know, you've got a lot of the people from the red corner of the tool shed going out early, and you've got a lot of people from the other side left in the comp, and then it's the final five. You got like Jason, I think, Lyric left, but then you've also got Kamu. So it's like 4 versus 1. And this is the only question I actually remember and paid attention to was, did he say to all the small spectacular out there's? And everybody put true. I remember it. Maybe it's because I'm a French speaker. I remember him vividly saying petite spectacular. It's also because it's alliteration.
Yeah, alliteration you should like immediately
like you should pick up on that.
How do you forget that?
And the only person to remember that it was false was Kamu. Kamu wins HOH. And he's on my draft, but I'm upset. Anyone from the tool shed could have won and made it interesting.
He was your last, like, willing
draft pick. Willing draft pick, because he, you know, we've seen what you liked on Instagram. We've seen you. We see that you love the person that you share a last name with who's no longer with us, Mr. Kirk. But anyways, yes, we have him win. I would have loved a Angela HOH, even though she's kind of off her rocker right now. maybe go back to D. That'd be funny.
Yeah.
Get Barrett, even though he wanted to throw it. Drew would never. He would definitely throw because he doesn't want to show his cards. But somebody other than Kamu.
I think there's 3 best case scenarios that could have happened, and we got the worst one. Maybe Yash would have been. No, but I think the best case scenarios would Angela wins HOH and everything goes to hell. Like, I could see her getting really paranoid and, like, the whole structure dismantles.
She would have put up Drew.
Yeah, like, everything would fall apart, and, like, we would see a much more dynamic house as much as people are, like, starting to, like, not like Angela.
She's the equivalent of a reset button.
Yeah, exactly. Which is really funny because it was the first week of 26, so we got a reset within 3 days.
Yeah.
The second option is, I think, any of the main people from the opposing alliance. Like, it could have been a lot more fun to see how it plays out if, like, Jason won.
Or Mallory.
Lyric. I think Mallory would have been my favorite.
Because she's more competent,
yeah.
I feel. She'd be better in that position.
And then the third option that I think would have been really funny, like you said, is Barrett, who wanted to throw the comp, and it would have been hilarious to see in, like, a Steve situation where he accidentally wins it, and then he accidentally becomes important at his job.
Right, he accidentally becomes important at his job, because he was talking about, along with throwing the comp, he was like, you know, I don't know how I feel within the tool shed before this HOH comp. He's like, I don't know, I feel like I'm on the bottom of the totem pole. I was the last to be brought into the tool shed formation meeting.
In that, like, I do agree with him, but also he was sleeping. He was sleeping. He looked like he was so peaceful. He was curled up on that wooden board,
as snug as a bug. On a plank.
On a plank.
Yeah, it was. So it's like, and somebody has to be brought in last anyway. So it's
Yeah.
not. It doesn't have to necessarily indicate that you're at the bottom of the totem pole, but he is, right? So it's fair to think that. And he was giving, like, if I got HOH, maybe I'd make a crazy move. I don't think 100% that he would, because he's, like, a smart player and he wouldn't want to blow up his spot.
But it would be a lot more dynamic than the outcome of any of the red corner members.
Yeah, I don't
winning.
think he would have just blindly went along with what Chuck, Kamu, and Haley would tell him to do.
I could see a world where, like Angela putting up Drew, I could see a world where he puts up a red corner member because he has ties to people on the other side.
And tries to play it off like, oh, you're the pawn. We're trying to make
Yeah.
it look like it's less obvious that we're working together.
That's something that I feel like people haven't brought up as much, though, is, like, there's a lot of these, alliances or, like, duos in between. But one that I really enjoy, as much as it's frustrating that they're so inactive, is Mallory and Barrett. Like, I like watching them. They're just not doing shit.
Like, I get playing under the radar. I get laying low. It's working for Barrett right now in the short term, and it's not necessarily working for Mallory because, like,
It's gonna get them, like, 10th and 8th place.
right. Like, let's be movers and shakers here. Let's revitalize. Let's make it spicy. Let's make it spicy as Spicy V. And they're giving me salt and pepper.
Yeah.
It's not lovely, but I get it, but I want more. I want a little more.
So, Kamu unfortunately wins. We kind of, like, really, like, brushed past it. Last week, the time capsule, we, like, kind of said it, but not really. But Angela won the time capsule, and that's why she has.
Oh yeah, did we not mention she's an
we
egg?
just kept making the egg
Oh,
puns,
yeah.
but we never said she's in the egg costume because she was voted America's favorite, and then got a punishment because she lost the challenge.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, because I guess that happened literally right after our last episode ended. Yeah, it was like a similar comp to the week 1 from her season where she was on a chair rotating, trying to press a button, and she accidentally pressed the red one because it looked kind of hard. Like, yes, there was a pattern, but, like, it was changed, and I'm like, I would.
It's hard to tell when you're spinning.
Yeah, it's hard to tell when you're disoriented, and I don't think Angela was necessarily good. Did she win that comp on her season? Was that what made her HOH?
Yeah.
So, I mean...
But, like, it wasn't the same one, because the other one was just, like, remembering colors.
Remembering colors. This is, like, colors moving left, right, boom, boom, boom. It was like that one game show, where it's like, no whammy, no whammy, no whammy, big money, press your luck. It was like press your luck, where it keeps changing, and you're trying to click and not get a whammy.
I've been, like, looking over briefly at our cameraman who knows nothing about Big Brother, and now I feel exactly like
never heard
him
of
in
Press
this.
Your Luck?
I have no clue what you're talking about, and it sounds like it would be like a fake TV show you'd be watching, the characters
Okay.
watching in like a sitcom.
Yes, it does sound like interdimensional cable, but okay, listen, we'll insert a clip.
No
of,
whammy, no whammy, no whammy.
Yes, because the whammy is like a groundhog, and it puts like an X on you, and so you don't want to get the whammies. You want to get the money, big money, big money, big money.
Well, of course you want to get the money, not the whammy.
Exactly. So basically, it's like that. Viewers, it's exactly like Press Your Luck, and the whammies are the punishments.
Everyone knows about Press Your Luck.
Yes, they do. They literally had a revive, so it obviously was a good retro game show. Basically, the whammies are the punishments, which she got. She got a whammy, and then the money is the powers, right? Which we'll talk about that with our next capsule guest. And it's just like Press Your Luck, because Angela presented it like it was luck. That's what everyone who was watching the feeds thought it was. But when we finally got to see into the actual booth, there was a pattern, but it was really hard to follow.
It was hard to tell, and I think it was a lot clearer when we get to the next time capsule, which is why I was I wanted
we're about
to
to get
that.
there, yeah.
Yeah, so before we get any of the nomination stuff, we do get the next time capsule.
Yes.
Who
Surprise, surprise.
Who would have guessed? Rick Devens, our second veteran. Stupid that they have a fan vote during a season with returnees, because then it's just lopsided. But whatever. I mean, Rick Devens, obviously, he wins the time capsule. He does the challenge, and we actually get to see more clearly how the puzzle functions. And he realizes the pattern, and then he wins the power. And he wins arguably the best one, but there is another one that might be better.
Let's pull up the list of the powers. We don't have a list of the punishments because who cares? Those are fun, but that's not what we're looking for right now.
Yeah.
So
the possible powers that we can have here. The first one is replay, which is you're able to play in back-to-back HOHs. I think that was from
22?
22, yeah.
I remember Danielle Brion, whatever, got it.
That one is okay. It's really good if you can
If you're a
win.
comp beast, yeah.
But otherwise, it's not great.
I could see Ty McDonald wanting that kind of power.
Yeah. The next one is Mystery Competitor, which is also not a great one. It just lets a alumni known for challenges play for you in a challenge.
We saw this last season.
Yeah,
with
and Casey did end up winning.
I mean, that was a great pick to have. I would want Casey playing for me.
They're probably not going to have Casey again. I think they'll have a new person.
It'd be funny if they got Keanu.
That would be really funny.
It's just, it follows the trend.
I think my guess is it's going to be Michael Bruner.
Ooh, that would be a good, or Morgan.
Oh, yeah.
So she lied. She did get contacted, but to be the secret power.
Yeah,
oh my gosh, that'd be fun. Or
I don't know if she'd be allowed to do a podcast at least until after that. I don't know.
Right. I guess because there's a chance she doesn't get called because not all of those powers necessarily are going to get chosen.
That's true.
One of them won't now because there was a punishment.
Yeah.
So it could be that isn't going to be. I just saw funny memes where it's you get the mystery competitor and America Lopez shows up. Damn, I know I'm going to lose.
It would. I think the worst, but also best case scenario for the players is Jag, because
oh my gosh,
then you have a good chance of winning, but then also you have to see on your Twitter feed
Jag
won the POV.
We don't want to see that, please. But no, so that's gonna be an interesting. I hope somebody gets that one. It's fun. We always want another cameo, which
we're getting a lot this season.
We're getting a lot of cameos, but the more the merrier.
Yeah. The next one is the Never Not Pass, which is the worst one.
Is it just a slot pass for the whole season?
Yeah, you don't have to be you're not a have-not for the entire season.
Okay, wow.
Which I think the food part, people are already breaking the rules anyway. They do that every season, they sneak snacks or whatever. But the bed situation, I think this is the funniest but also worst have-not room I think in a long time.
Really? You think it would be that motion sicknessy?
I don't know I don't get motion sick, so I don't think it's really that, but it's it's a wooden board that's on a slant and it's so tiny, especially
There's
feel
been
like
worse
because I'm
ones in BB can.
No, but I
BB
feel like
can
because
has
I'm
really bad
taller,
ones, so
like,
I'm
I would really have to like crane my
Yeah.
neck. You see Barrett is 6'6",
Oh my
and
gosh,
he's
yeah.
like sitting like
he
this.
could really use that one. I bet you
Yeah.
he's gonna get the
It
never
would be
not pass.
it would be really funny if he
He
got
would
it.
totally get that. If there was any allegations of rigging, that would be my ask for production. But yeah.
The next one from last season was the BB bribe. Which lets you bribe someone with, I think it was $10,000 to basically do whatever you want.
Okay.
And Zach, that
so
was
it's not even a bribe. It's a BB like extortion, but you get paid.
yeah. Well, no, it's not extortion because they can choose to take it or not.
Oh, they can choose to take the
I
money.
think so.
Okay.
But the thing was, last time it was it wasn't used was Zach, who he was like he had the chance to use it. And then he didn't, and he went home.
See, that's confusing me because I thought this is a little different because I thought Zach's, he got to buy a veto.
Maybe it was.
So I'm like, this seems different.
Yeah,
from what I get.
Well, it has to be. Let me. Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong power. Let me see if it was like an old thing that.
Because I mean, that seems the most similar to Zach's.
No, okay, yeah, that it wasn't Zach's. It was on BB28, where they were able to bribe a house guest with $5,000.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so you take the money and you automatically have to do this. Okay.
Yeah. So
I would take the 10K kind of. If I was getting bribed, I would take it.
It depends on how much it would affect the game. Like if I think I could work. Like if someone bribed me and I can get $10,000 and I think I have a way out of like
Yeah.
It depends, because I'm playing for $750,000.
True, this is true, but yeah.
But yeah, so the next one is the one that Rick Devens wins.
Yes.
Which is the Diamond Power Veto. What a... like, that is one of the most powerful advantages they've had in this show, where you get to, over the next 6 weeks, you get to choose any player to take off of the block and replace them with your choice of nominee.
So it's basically it's until jury, I'm guessing.
Yes.
Okay, that's because there was questions where it was like, if somebody won this like 3 weeks from now, would that be 6 weeks from
no,
then?
I'm pretty certain because 6 weeks is 1 week after the powers end, so I think it would just be that.
Okay, so yeah, that I just it's very OP. Very might as well throw the coup d'etat in there, like.
And then we, at least, thank God we don't have the coup d'etat. We do have another pretty powerful one, though, which is the Coin of Destiny. It's all up to luck. I think they're just reheating the Mr. Beast's coin.
They wish Devins got that one.
Yeah.
That would have been iconic.
But it's essentially just if you call, like, a coin flip and you get it correctly, you get to overthrow the HOH, which is basically a higher risk, higher reward version of the Diamond Power Veto. Because that one is like a guarantee you get power, but it's only for a nomination. This one is you get to control the entire week.
But you could also
you only
fail
have you have a
like
50-50.
Look like a douche.
Yeah.
I way preferred Mickey's HOH interrogation. That was iconic. I mean, it's a little... I think it's a little more overpowered, the interrogation, because the person has like a 1 in 17 chance, or 1 in however many... 1 in 10 chance of getting it right.
But it depends on like how much they can like sleuth out of the other people.
Right, if it's obvious, then yeah. Like I would steal my allies' HOH, like somebody who's kind of close to me so they wouldn't be able to guess.
Yeah.
But I mean, I like some of these powers. Maybe Diamond POV is a little broken.
I think it's just a little too much compared to the rest. They should have all been like similar power levels.
Yeah, where it's like you don't completely change the week up, but you do get a little bit of power. Like I would have loved an extra vote. Get to, like what was the one that Adele had on BB Can 2? It was like you get to choose when you play in a veto. Like you get to buy your way into a veto card.
That one is interesting. I think that's on the level of like Mystery Competitor.
Yeah.
Which I wonder how long that one lasts, cuz what if you get it and then you never get picked to play the veto until it expires?
Right. That's interesting.
That's the only one that I think you literally have to just hope that it would, work out, which I mean, it's unlikely, but also Suri on Big Brother 25 didn't get to play the veto until like week 9.
I heard Taylor this season was like, "Can we open up that bag to make sure everyone's chips is in there?"
Like I obviously Barrett got chosen twice, but like it's been 2 weeks. Just chill.
But yeah. So Devins walks out the time capsule and he doesn't tell Angela. He tells Dee that he's got the Diamond Power Veto, but he keeps that secret from Angela. good and bad decision. One, good because she's got loose lips and she would probably like half the house would know. Bad because when she does find out, she might be upset. However,
I think as long as it's in her favor, then she will be like her emotions will be powerful, but in like like a positive way.
Yeah, she has told Dee, like, I think maybe Devins has it, but I'm okay if he's not telling us to protect us. So it's like, that seems like growth. I feel like old Angela would have been like, you can't trust me, you're not telling me everything.
I don't know, because like, I think if we go back to BB28, if Leah had gotten a power, I think she would have been okay if she was never told. It really, I think, just depends on like her ally situation.
Yeah, but I feel like she turned on people so quickly, like Tucker, just for the smallest things.
I think
I feel like that's a big thing.
I don't know. I feel like she wasn't really that close to anyone on the season aside from Leah. Whereas this season, she really does have a lot of insulation of like allies and stuff.
So we'll have to see. But Devins is good for it's just like an idol. The less people that know, the better.
Yeah, I think, and it's really good that Dee specifically says she will not tell anybody unless something happens and there's a falling out between the two of them. This is going to be a secret for the Survivor players to use to their advantage later down the line when it's necessary.
That's why she's a winner. She knows how to keep information and use it as currency.
Yeah, and I think it's really, like, they're both playing well, but it does suck that everything good is happening to them and we're not seeing any pushback, especially, like, you know, this is, like, if one of the other people, like, the other side of the house wins the HOH, this is, like, their chance to flip the house structure, and then it's just immediately going to get dismantled because Devins now has this power. He's basically, like, they'll have the numbers to take them out, so it's basically just, like, you have to win 2 HOHs now for it to do anything.
Or you have to win HOH, put up the, let's say, the 3 alumni, he replaces somebody. I mean, as long as the person that Devins puts up with his Diamond POV wins Blockbuster, one of their numbers is going home. Like, if you put up 3 people that are, you know, could put up Angela, Dee, and Devins. Not that I want this to happen, but it could. It could very well happen.
Yeah, so,
but that didn't happen.
It didn't
Kamu's
happen.
HOH, and it's hell.
We've made it to San Antonio, Texas.
Yeah. It's Trump everywhere, and the sheriff lives next door. Kamu, what can I say positive about Kamu? He's on my draft. He is a strong physical competitor. What else can I say about Kamu? Kamu won HOH.
He did win HOH.
He did, in fact, win HOH, and yeah, that's about it. There we go.
I think at least the conversations about who to put up are interesting. We have Kamu talking to, I think, Mallory's first, who I think she has, like, she's shown quite a bit that she has, like, the correct mindset. She's thinking very well about this game. She just doesn't have the voice to, like, explain it well. So when Kamu asks, like, Mallory, who do you want, like, who would you put up on the block? She basically says to him that she would put up the Survivor players. And it's like, it's good that you're being honest, but you're saying it in the wrong way.
And to the wrong person.
To the wrong person, especially. I think it was good of her to also say Jason, but at the same time, she didn't, like, sell either side well. So then Kamu immediately thinks, this is an easy person to put up. The other person that was easy for him to decide is Lala, which is interesting because he doesn't really have any reasoning.
Except for, the house doesn't love how you've been, you know, being strict about cleaning up.
And he
says, boy, that's not a reason to put somebody on the block.
And he said that they never talk game, and it's like, that's your fault. Like, you haven't talked game with her. That's not a reason. Like, it is a reason, but we're at week 3
and it's
now.
a two-way street. Like, I feel like Lala's very talkative, and she would welcome anyone with open arms, and he just isn't going to her arms.
It really feels like excuses because he didn't even give, like, he didn't talk to her about it. He talked to the other 2, but it's like, I don't know. So the third person, though, it initially seems like, as per usual, I guess, it's going to be melody or lyric. And I think initially he wanted to do lyric, but then him and lyric talked, and he's like, no, let's do melody instead. But then he's like, he wants to use lyric. Oh, no, not melody. He wants to do Jason. But then he's like, we should backdoor Jason. And so he's like, he goes back on it. Instead of, like, before he was saying lyric, you're safe, it's okay. And now he's saying lyric, you're going up as a pawn.
Like, horrible play from Kamu.
Yeah.
Like, this is not what I want to see. Like, sometimes I like when the people I don't like at least surprise me. Like, okay, you're a better player. Like, Jonathan, I remember, like, one episode we did last season, I was like, okay, I'll give him his 8s. I'm not going to give him his 10s, but, like, when Camilla went home, I was like, okay, you did that. You did that one thing. You ate that one thing.
Like, some of the stuff that he did to get D out was, like, scummy, but he was
playing.
He was playing.
He's playing okay. Kamu, you're not even on Jonathan Young's level, and that's saying a lot. Like,
it's hard not to be, like, maybe we would have been different if Survivor had live feeds.
Yeah.
But even in the episode, Kamu looked like a dumbass.
Like, Kamu, what are we doing? Like, I think he got maybe kicked in the head one too many times from MMA.
Yeah.
It's just, like, not clocking. It's not clicking. It's not clacking. It's just really not a good look from Kamu. And this nomination ceremony was, like, it was nothing burger. Like, he puts the people up that he puts up.
Lyric,
and
Lala, and Mallory.
Yeah, and he wants to target Jason, but I think he went about this in such a horrible way. And
it gets worse.
It gets worse.
Just wait, guys. It gets worse.
There's more. So the people get picked for the veto. Like we said, it is the HOH Kamu, the 3 noms, Lala, Lyric, and Mallory. Somebody tweeted, it's funny, that if he put up Melody instead of Mallory, it would have sounded like he hates music. The veto players, Latrice, Lala, gets house guest choice, or she picks her own chip, and she chooses Jason to play for her. That's a good choice, because he's on her side of the house. Would she be saved by him? I don't know, per se.
I think out of everyone, I
it'd
would
be
have said
Lyric.
Taylor.
Taylor
Taylor would save Lala.
I think
but
if
Jason
won,
is more likely to save someone. So,
but I think that person's Lyric.
Yeah.
Just because they trauma bonded over Rome, like.
I just wonder, like, if they save anyone, was that, like, going to be a positive thing? Especially because, like, then Jason and one of them would be safe, so then you would have to, like, decide between. But then it would be slim pickings. It would probably be like Taylor or Melody, which is like,
yeah. Which I mean, like, yeah.
I don't know. It was a weird choice, but
I think at this point, this week is starting to become a little bit of like we might have to let Latrice go. We might have to, sacrifice Lala. Everyone's saying that online. But yeah, it's Jason, and who's the last person participating in the POV?
Honestly, I don't know.
Doesn't
because we haven't had the
matter.
episode yet. I didn't see. I
haven't
tweets
seen the
about
player
it.
picks.
I mean, I could look now.
Yeah.
Veto players. Who's playing in the veto? Okay.
A minion with a list. Veto.
Veto. Well, it doesn't matter because
Our girl Lyric wins. But we know what the comp is, though. We know the comp is a pickleball themed comp. Rome would be
was
so
it
proud.
Actually?
It was pickleball themed.
I, for reference, have not, like, I haven't had much of a chance to catch up, so I've watched the episodes, but the live feeds since, like, a little bit after Kamu won, I haven't been able to keep up with. Were they, like, trying? I think they wanted Rome to be their, like, it boy, but then they were too focused on giving the vets all the attention.
Yeah, it's just weird how they're giving, like, people comps that are, like, themed after them.
Because we had the
wrestling
one.
for Kamu. I mean, he's a boxer, but, like, same thing, same difference. And
we
then
had
pickleball.
the hippie one for Barrett's performative appearance.
Exactly. What's next? There's gonna be there was a sciencey one for Mallory to win, but no. Lyric wins. I'm surprised by this. I didn't anticipate her to be this like comp girly, but she won it for her boy Rome.
Lyric won the POV.
Lyric
America has 0 wins.
Yeah, Lyric now has more comp wins than America and Big D combined. So I saw somebody say like she's the Nepo baby with the most comp wins. But yeah, she wins, and she's obviously going to take herself off, and that obviously leaves the back door, quote unquote, open for Jason. And you know, it could have been a peaceful week this week. The backdoor could have went through like it did with Rome without a fight. But of course, Camus, even though he says he's the straightest man ever, he loves being messy. He loves to drag the drag queen, and he sets up what was supposed to be an innocent tea party for Mallory.
Wasn't it Mallory that was doing all the planning?
Mallory, he was planning the trap. Mallory was planning the tea party. She was like,
she
let's
wanted
have a
to
good
have
time.
an event. This is the one I couldn't avoid this. This is the one thing that I know about. It was so Mallory wanted to have a tea party. She was like, she's been like so down this whole season because it just like hill after hill she keeps like being pushed down.
Like she did not know that they were gonna be playing in her face like this. Like
so she makes a whole tea party for everyone to come to. She makes like tea and like
sandwiches.
Pastries. She makes like like the have-nots,
slop
the food
muffins.
like
so wholesome.
She just wants to have a good time, and Camus knows about this. He wants to he decides that he's going to not do a call out. He wants to put on a filibuster.
Oh my gosh. He wants to be Jimmy. He literally wants to be Jimmy so bad. Like I was and this is where my apology comes in. My apology is to Jason. I was saying, "Oh, you're the Jimmy of this season with your, you know, your but at least the way he was going about things
he was doing
not
it for
rehearsed.
Fun. Yeah, he was doing it for fun, not for TV.
Yeah, like as much as I thought he was going to be like, "Oh, let's make good TV." He's making good TV, but unconsciously, not unconsciously, but like it's natural. Camus was rehearsing what he's about to say, and it sounds horrible.
Yeah, and he goes on for like half an hour. It is excruciating to watch him and Jason in the middle of this tea party, which, by the way, we have to mention these beautiful dresses that Drew and Barrett wear. I saw one comment that they said during the live feeds where they're like, Camus gonna think we're devaluing our masculinity.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It's like, because as we said before, Camus is not a big fan of the Alphabet Mafia.
Though he did wear that, the tutu he had to wear for the veto competition, he did wear for quite a long time.
Yeah, why were you not? You kind of felt yourself in that one, didn't you? You were kind of feeling your oats, Camus.
Yeah,
got something to tell the class?
Let it free.
And so obviously his prime target was the gay man on the bottom, the bottom or the top, or well, the verse, or Jason. No, Camus thought he ate. He thought he was eating with his little finger sandwiches and teas and crumpets, but no. Jason clapped back and put him on blast. Angela was trying to, like, you know, add something, but even Angela was getting some strays from Jason, and he held his own. And I just want to say I'm so sorry for the little rant I went on last week. If you can't hear this, obviously, but I apologize, Jason. I still kind of stand by what I said, but I went way too hard on you, and you are not the evil of the house that is Camus. Like, period.
Yeah. There's a clear difference between how we were treating Jason last week and how he deserves to be treated, because at this point he's basically being isolated from everyone else. Like, after everything went down, everyone left, no one checked on him. He's very much being like, I don't think it's at the level of like Taylor on 24, but it's close. Like
if there's any behavior on this season that's gonna warrant the B word that I was so vehemently against, this is kind of getting to bullying level. Like, it's kind of like the whole house against Jason. I mean, people can say, I kind of feel bad for him and maybe check in on him, but really, he's one man against everyone else.
Yeah, and like, I wouldn't even say he was really putting Jason on blast, like, because it wasn't like he wasn't providing any new information.
He wasn't coming with the receipts.
He was solely just saying, like, reiterating what people had already been talking about, and basically just singling out Jason in such a like performative and also it was so
self-righteous.
Yeah, like.
He's got that kind of mentality where it's like, oh, I'm HOH, I can do anything, I'm holier than thou.
Yeah.
Like, and he's like, oh, Jason's playing Big Brother, you're not allowed to do that. I'm gonna call you out, even though all my allies are playing the same, like, manipulating, lying, whatever. That's what we're supposed to do. I'm gonna single you out for it.
I cannot believe Jason is trying to play the game. That's offensive to me. That's hurting me. Jason, you deserve to go to hell.
Literally, and he deserves to go to hell for other reasons, according to Kamu. But you know, we went over that. But no, and the way he was doing it, he was like, he acted like he had receipts, but he was like, Jason would be like, "Who told you that?" Like, since we're airing out everyone's dirty laundry, he's like, "Well, I don't want to blow up anyone's game. You're blowing my game up."
Yeah, no, that drove me insane. Jason was like really standing his ground though. Fucking good on him. And I really, really hope that this eventually like is the starting point into an actual genuine counter alliance.
Yes.
This should be the push that like Barrett and Drew, as much as they've been inactive and frustrating, they have the ability. They need to be the push.
Like,
no one else can be the push.
I wish I could be in that house and be like, "That's y'all's ally." Like, I know there's like I said last week, like you have to sometimes align with people that you wouldn't agree with or be friends with on the outside of the house. But it comes to a certain point where it's like the behavior is going past game.
Yeah.
And it's like I wouldn't want to associate myself with that. Like, as much as I'd say like, "Oh yeah, I'd be aligned with like the dumb whatever backwards people like Kamu." But I'm like, at that point, I'm like, I can't risk being associated with that. Like, I don't want to. And also just like the energy is toxic. Like, I'm going to go flip because of that. I would flip.
Yeah. This is really hard to watch. I mean, it's entertaining, but like,
yeah, like we love fight. We love drama.
This is hard to watch, but entertaining in the way that like, this is very reminiscent of Keisha's birthday. I think it was less of a screaming match and more of a, like I said, a filibuster. Like they're just going. But it really was like uncomfortable. Everyone's just sitting there in silence. Like it wasn't even like the HOH nom like argument where everyone was like, you know, yelling and like some people were crying. They were just sitting there in silence, like really just.
Feel so bad for Mallory, who wanted to just have a good time. Like, what was
They're
that?
They're playing in her face.
I think we have one tweet of saying, like, comparing her to the fish from SpongeBob. Like, they playing in her face nasty. She had no clue. Like, she just wanted to have her little, like, pinkies up moment. Cat's like, pinkies up, up, pinkies up. She went to have a tea party.
She's been a have-not for 2 weeks. She's been a nominated player for 2 weeks. Like, she has had no time to breathe. She just wants a moment of, like, happiness and just hanging out with the people that she enjoys.
But no, Mallory had to get her little moment stomped on by Kamu and co. And I just feel so bad. I mean, like...
You're the red corner? You're the red corner? What, am I the red corner?
Yeah, no, it was crazy. I think not only Kamu looked bad, Angela looked a little bad there.
Yeah.
She, you know, what people accuse her of doing sometimes, a little bit of a self-victimizing vibe was happening.
And, like, granted, I think people have been saying that, like, this is the curse of like a second return player where they're always worse than their original appearance. Yeah. But Angela has always been like this.
This is reminiscent of 26.
Honestly, I think people remember 26 and Angela a lot more fondly. And she was fantastic on that season. But they don't remember like a lot of the whining and like, you know, the anger. And it'll probably be the same thing after this season. Like, it's hard to remember those things when she was so like electric in other moments.
And it's easy to have your rose tinted glasses on when the person that was at the detriment of this was Matt Hardman. Yeah. Someone so easy to hate. And people now are being like, "Oh, I guess Matt was right." No! Two things can be true at once. Yeah. Matt Hardman can be a douchebag and literally be trying to milk all this for clout, and he's a loser. And Angela can still be kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Right? That can coexist.
I truly think, like, this doesn't really lower or increase my opinion of Angela by any means. I think she's, like...
We knew this was gonna happen.
Yeah, you have to take the good with the bad. And she, like, obviously it's not fun to watch those moments. But if you want the fun Angela, you're gonna have to go with that. And eventually we will get the fun Angela again. We got her last week. We got her the week before. You have to take the downtime. Maybe, like, we'll come back up. But it's up and down.
It's up and down. You can't get a stagnant Angela. That's just not in her vocabulary. Another person who got called out by Jason, Devins. Jason flat out said, "Do you have the power?" Love that power move from him. That was really bold. And Devins, you know, he's a good deflector. He's like, "No, I thought you'd get the power," which, I mean, not his best move, but... why would Jason get the power? Like, it's clear the alumni are getting it. Like, that's a pattern. Even Mallory clocked on to when she was talking to Kamu.
Multiple people have talked about how, like, obviously the alumni are going to get it. That I meant to say that because Mallory brought it up, and that was like why I was like, yeah, she has a very good point. Is like, she wants to target the Survivor players because obviously they're going to get the powers, and she'd rather target D because she thinks Rick already got the power, and she wants to like, get D, nip it in the bud before it grows. She has great reasoning. She's very smart about this. She just told the wrong person.
Yes.
But yeah, back to the tea party.
I mean, I think we sipped the tea. We spilt the tea. The tea's been spilt. Like Mickey and Morgan were doing it. The tea was piping, but it was spilled. Oh my god, they were so crunchy last season when they did that. I mean, yeah, that was the Jimmy week was something. But that's basically where we left off. And now Jason is pulling a Josh I've seen on the live feeds, and he's banging pots and pans.
I haven't seen that. That's interesting.
He's like, I'm not going down without a fight. I don't care.
I'm gonna fucking lose it if he does that shit around my fucking head again.
I just really hope he wins the blockbuster.
Yeah.
Because it's very clear as day he's the renom, which is happening today, I think. At the day we're recording, the renom's going to happen. Of course, after we record.
There's two things that I pray happen, and I think the season will be infinitely better for it. First is that Jason wins the blockbuster, and then second, we go into the week 4 HOH, and it's a pressure cooker.
Ooh, yes. That pressure cooker would eat. It would eat.
This is the best possible moment for it, and also it would be funny. Like, I was trying to think, like, how would they relate it to, like, the time travel kind of thing, and the only thing I could think of is, like, they make it space themed, and it's, like, before the Big Bang, or, like...
Ooh, that's a good one, or, like, maybe they're in, like, a spaceship or something.
Yeah.
That would be good, and I think... I'm really happy that Kamu's out, because out of the red corner people, I think he'd be most likely to have that kind of willpower to win the pressure cooker.
Yeah.
I think Chuck would, like, slip his finger, and I think Haley might not win. I think Mallory could be like that America on BB28, like, just stick in there and actually win this time. I think that would be... I love that.
Yeah, I think a lot of these people I wouldn't expect to do very well in a pressure cooker, but I can see Jason, Mallory, and then...
Melody.
I think Kamu would do very well, and that's why it's the perfect time to do it, because he wouldn't get to play.
Yeah. And this just really, like, it's literally a pressure cooker going on in the house right now.
That's, every time they've done the pressure cooker, it's after something insane. Like, it is always the most tense moment, and I want to see it happen again.
Yeah, I would love to see that happen.
Yeah.
That would spice up the house, and it would definitely create some new, maybe, formations, new power structures if somebody good won and not like Chuck. Yeah. Let's take a look at our draft, since we're getting to the back end of the episode.
Let's start with your draft.
Okay, because I lost another person.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, was this the right version that we have up here? I don't know if that was who made these edits? Who added that hat onto Kamu? That's he's supposed to leave that at home, and I don't know how it made it through production. No. I have two grayed out portraits on my draft right now, but I still have hope. No, you
know what? We were just talking about it. Our best case scenario is Lala goes home.
I'm fine losing Lala, because I think D could win this whole thing. I think Barrett
we're gonna have to decide if you end up having the winner on your draft. We're gonna have to decide if we're doing
best
average placement
or just the winner.
Yeah, because last time we went back and forth the whole time, so it was just whoever won.
No, because right now I have somebody who might go home. I mean, I don't have anyone else on the block. Like, you have the other people. You have Mallory, you have Jason, you have... I mean, Lyric took herself off.
I would truly be worried about everyone on your draft, to be honest, because I think there's a chance Lala goes home.
Yeah.
If someone else from the other side wins, I think D would go up. But
and Kamu's not gonna win HOH next week.
Kamu is definitely going to go up, especially if Jason wins HOH.
He tanked his position.
Yeah.
He was in a decent position before this, and I was so excited to be like coming on to my draft part of this episode and be like, hey guys, I may not love Kamu, but he's in a good position.
Yeah.
Now I'm so like, there's nothing redeeming about this man.
And I think Barrett is being too inactive, and I think he could be targeted for that. Melody could be targeted because of her relationship with Drew. Somehow your best chance is with Yash.
Like, why does this keep happening? Yash is the Jonathan. Like I said, like, I get him by default, and it's just like, sigh. Like, have we? I don't know if last episode we talked about his views on women. Yeah, Rome. Okay, actually, I think I was my official winner pick when we made the draft, but Rome was my like, okay, this white man's gonna break the streak because there's just something about him. He's got charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent. Like, he's just that pickleball coach that we all love. He's like America's sweetheart, and he went home second. I'm really shocked. Like, he really was the beta and submissive warrior, and we kind of love him for that because that's code word for woke.
Like it's even more outside of the house.
Like he's been like reposting drag edits of Jason saying that's my girl, that's my dog. Like, just and
like I said, like everyone has at least one bad quality that has made this house so toxic, and I think Ashley and Rome are the exact same way, but they would have also made the house so much more entertaining.
Yeah,
like because Rome has like on occasion he's kind of like says some questionable stuff, or he has this whole thing with Lyric, and it's like it's weird, but it's entertaining.
It's not problematic. And like it's okay. There's always going to be a showman, like a little hetero showman to never hurt nobody. But it just like he went too fast, and you know obviously that was his downfall. We kind of talked about that last episode, but yeah, I've got 2 draft picks already gone, and I might have a third going home.
It could like the last few. It's been a little set in stone that yours is going to go. This is up in the air depending on whether or not Jason's going to win the blockbuster.
Yeah.
Which honestly, I think he has a good chance because like, he's either going to be he's going to be up against Lala and Mallory, and they're not bad competitors, but he has consistently been pretty damn good.
Mallory won a veto. He won a blockbuster. She lost a blockbuster. He almost won a veto.
And he won the safety competition.
And he won the safety comp. So I would say he is a little bit more of a comp beast. It depends what the challenge is, obviously, but I have faith in him. And there's talks that Lala goes home next to Mallory, which I know she's on my draft, but I'm fine with Lala going, as I've said.
Yeah.
Just to like, you know, weed out the weak. Sorry, Lala, I love you, and you're not weak in the sense of like you're a bodybuilder.
It just hasn't really provided.
You're just not in the right position to make this coup happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, and you know, Yash, Melody.
So let's go over.
Let's
to
go
my
to your draft because
now.
I'm sick of looking at mine.
Yeah.
And the grayed out and the red hat.
Yeah. So my draft, I do have 2 noms plus a most likely renom. However, I have all my players. I have Rick Devens with his Diamond Power of Veto, and even though people have been talking about Drew a little bit more, I still feel very good about him because he is in the best position in the house.
He is the most insulated person. He's got allies on both ends, and he can really flip the house if he wants, or he can keep it stagnant. He's kind of the Kyle of the season. Kyle from 48.
And then my other players, I have Haley and Chuck, who are the other 2 members of the red corner, and I think they're the least likely of them to go because they're going to either target the vets or Kamu.
Yeah, so they're in a good position. I kind of wish I took one of them now, like, because they look so like innocent and docile and just like non-threatening now. Like everyone calls them the cool kids, but that's just because they have the number of like they just have 3 people together strong. Once Kamu leaves, they're like cooked.
Yeah. And then Taylor, I think, is the most like outside of everything compared to everyone. Like she has a lot of like friendships and alliances, but she is really like everyone's in the middle and Taylor's over there watching it happen.
Yeah,
I don't think anything's gonna happen.
No
to
one's
Taylor
targeting
for a
her,
while.
but she's a very likely like, okay, let's put her up as a pawn. But she does have
I
a good social
don't even know
game.
if she would be likely as a pawn because I feel like people are just kind of forgetting.
And people do like her.
Yeah, people like really like her.
Like even Kamu has a really good relationship with her, and she could have easily went up as like where Lala is right now.
Yeah,
but she evaded that, so good on her.
And then Lyric, I think now that Rome's gone and she won the veto, she's probably going to keep going up as a pawn, but I think she's okay. And then Mallory is like, I could see her in a situation where she keeps being put up and then she just barely survives until like right before jury or something like that.
Yeah. I want her to have a Betty arc. Like I want this to be like Betty, like she kind of like is down and out for a little bit, but then she like gains the power. She gets a good alliance going, and I don't want to have the same fate as Betty from BB28, but I don't know. I see she has a good skill set for comms, and she knows the game. Yeah. So once she gets in power, she'll be a force to be reckoned with.
And of course, the last player I have is Jason, who I'm really scared for him, but he is our warrior right now.
Yeah.
We need to give him all of our strength in this in these dire times to win that blockbuster and really like
we need to give him thoughts and prayers because as
Yeah.
Canadians, we can't give him time capsule votes. Like, we need to do what we can. And like you said, you got Rick with the freaking OP Diamond OP.
Up, down, left, right.
Up, down, left, right, Konami code over here, cheating. Not cheating because it's part of the game, but, definitely being helped.
Yeah.
And it looks like your draft will be the winning one. I feel like you've got the winner somewhere there. Like between Drew, Lyric, Mallory, Taylor, Rick, and Chuck. Chuck, for me, I'm having premonitions that he somehow wins. Like, he gets to the end.
I saw your tweet about that, and you need to stop manifesting these kinds of things.
I'm manifesting the wrong things. Like, I tweeted, I think he's going to end up next to Angela in the final two, and he's going to beat her because of anti-returnee bias. Like, I think if Dee and Devins make
Would
the
that
jury,
put her on
they'll
the same
vote him.
level as Dan Giesling?
No, not really. But I could totally see, like, if Chuck somehow wins the final HOH, he'd, like, bring her because, like, the jury doesn't want her to win. Like, because no one's going to take Chuck out. I think
he really feels like BB28 Jag, like, in, like, early game as well. Jag was the exact same. And then things changed when he got voted out and came back.
Oh, my gosh, like, him and Kamu in the Jag and Matt. Oh, my God, that would be nightmare. But at least he would win.
Scenario.
At least he would beat Kamu, but still.
I don't know.
So, that was our recap of weeks 2 and a little bit of 3. But we can kind of tell what's going to happen for the rest of week 3 unless there's some big twist and big changement after we record like last time. But it's definitely riveting television. Not just the television, riveting feeds.
Yeah.
Riveting timeline on Twitter.
For sure.
It's going to be exciting to keep up with this for the rest of the season like we will. We'll be back in 2 weeks recapping weeks 4.
I think the rest of 3 and then week 4.
And maybe a little bit of 5.
A bit of 5, yeah. And there is one last thing I wanted to do. Just real quick, as we're recording, today is the day that Survivor applications are officially being, looked through. They're starting to
open up
casting for, 53 and 54.
Yes.
And, I think it would be funny if I just have a little segment here, and I just, I might as well throw in my application. Hi, Survivor. Hi, Jeff Probst. Hi, Jesse Tannenbaum. Get me on Survivor 53 or 54 because I'm awesome. No, I think it'd be really cool. I've been a super fan for since I was like 9 years old. I've been watching for forever. This is my world right now. I love the media production field. We record our podcast. We go to school for everything to do with this kind of world. And I think it would just be incredible to get my chance to play. I want to see how the game is done, production-wise, but I also want to play strategically. I think I'd be a great fit. And I want you to see me win, and I want me to see all of the cool cameras that you use.
Yes.
Thank you. And I think that about does it for the episode.
Please hang in there. If you're somebody who's like, I'm tuning off of Big Brother 28.
You have to hold out hope.
Hang in there. We've been there before with seasons whether it's the first week, the 5th week, or the end game. Hang in there because there's always time for it to change up.
This is we have this happen all the time, and honestly, this season has been so much better than those kinds of seasons. Even if we're in that kind of rut, it's still a much better rut than Big Brother 24. That was the first 2 weeks of Big Brother 24 were miserable. And then you get to one of the best seasons ever. You really just have to hold out hope for something to change. And, we'll let you know if it becomes a Big Brother 16 or 22 or 20 or,
Or 21.
But this new era has been so dynamic. We're not going to get that. I can promise you, hold out. It's going to be incredible.
Yes, and with that, we will see you in 2 weeks.
Back to this
for
camera.
Another episode of Reality Rangers. Bye.
Bye.